The rain poured harder, soaking her thin sweater to the bone. Barefoot and shivering, Mia stood outside the towering iron gates of a mansion that looked like it belonged in a dream she wasn't allowed to have. She clutched her small backpack, the only thing she owned now, and stared up at the sprawling estate. She hadn't eaten in 2 days. She hadn't slept properly in 5. And she had nowhere else to go. With trembling fingers, she pressed the intercom button. A man's voice crackled through. Yes? Her voice was hoarse, almost a whisper. Sir. I'm sorry to bother you, but I don't want money. I just. Can I clean your mansion in exchange for a plate of food? Please. I can sweep, mop, do laundry, anything. There was silence. Then, after a pause that felt like eternity, the gates creaked open. Mia hesitated, clutching her bag tighter. She wasn't sure if walking in was safe, but hunger had long overpowered fear. She stepped inside, shoes squishing on the wet driveway, heart pounding. Inside the mansion, warm lights lit the hall. The butler met her at the door, frowning, but before he could speak, a tall man entered from the grand staircase. His eyes fell on Mia. He stopped dead in his tracks. His face went pale, and for a moment, he didn't speak. He simply stared at her, as though he'd seen a ghost. Why you? He finally murmured. Mia furrowed her brow, confused. Do I know you, sir? But he didn't answer. Instead, his eyes dropped to her dirty feet, then to her rain-drenched clothes. He turned sharply to the butler. Get her food. Dry clothes. And set up the guest room. Sir, the butler replied, clearly surprised. Do it. Now. Mia's eyes welled up. She hadn't expected kindness, just scraps. She tried to protest. I'll work for it, please, I'm not asking for charity. The man turned back to her, his voice soft but steady. What's your name? Mia. He nodded, a strange pain in his eyes. You look just like your mother. She froze. You knew my mother? He gave a faint, bittersweet smile. Knew her? Mia, she was my first love. As she sat in the guest room later, wrapped in a warm blanket and devouring a bowl of soup, Mia's head swirled with questions. The man, Daniel Cole, was one of the most successful CEOs in the city, owner of several tech companies and a household name. How could he know her mother? The next morning, Daniel sat with her on the sun-drenched veranda. He was quiet for a while before finally speaking. Your mother, her name was Elena. We were together in college. She was brilliant, full of fire and dreams. But I was too ambitious. I left her to chase success. When I came back for her, she was gone. No forwarding address. Nothing. Mia's throat tightened. She never spoke of you. Only said, someone broke her heart when she needed him most. Daniel looked away, guilt written all over his face. She didn't deserve that. And neither do you. Over the next few weeks, Mia stayed in the mansion. Not as a maid. Not as a guest. But slowly, as something more. Daniel offered her a room, access to books and online classes, even a therapist to help her heal from the years of abandonment and struggle. Mia resisted at first, always feeling like a burden, until one day she broke down in the middle of dinner. I don't belong here, she sobbed. I'm just, no one. A girl who slept on benches, begged for bread, failed my mom, and now. You are not a failure, Daniel said firmly. You are her legacy. He reached into a drawer and pulled out a photo, a young woman smiling beside a younger version of him. Elena was everything good in my life. I lost her once. I won't lose her daughter too. But not everything came easy. Daniel faced backlash from tabloids. CEO takes in street girl, they screamed. Board members questioned his judgment. His own sister accused him of being manipulated. Mia, seeing the damage, tried to leave. "I won't ruin your life, Mr. Cole. I'll figure something out." But Daniel stopped her at the gates, the same gates where she had once stood trembling and hungry. "You came to me for food. But what I needed was family." He knelt down, held her hands. "I failed your mother. I won't fail you. If you let me, I want to be a father to you." Mia broke down, hugging him tightly. "I've never had a dad." Months passed. With Daniel's support, Mia got into college. She studied business, just like her mother once had. She started a small non-profit for homeless teens, helping them get education and shelter. She turned her pain into purpose. And every day, she passed by the gates of the mansion, no longer as a beggar, but as a daughter coming home. Moral of the story: sometimes, the smallest cry for help reaches the heart it was meant for. A plate of food led Mia to a man who had lost everything but found redemption in her. Never underestimate the power of kindness. Or the second chances that come wrapped in unexpected ways. Because sometimes, family isn't what you're born into. It's what finds you when you're at your lowest.